Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades, and how are you? And we are back to the final episode of Love is Blind series 2 episode 10. We are continuing on with the weddings. Anyway, before we get into this episode, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification bell so when you know I'm on do videos. Please comment, like, share, do the good things that you do, because I continue to be on the road to 1k. Okay, let's get speedily into episode 10. So we are back at the wedding of Jed and Barda, and we're now getting to know what they're going to say. So at first, Barda, yes, this gal says yes, and I was like, yes, she said yes, and everybody was like, oh. Even Jed was like, oh my God, she said yes. And no, it didn't stop there. We were quickly dismissed of that quick yes. Do you know what I mean? Because she said, I vow to do all those things, every one. And then she said, at a time we are both ready. I thought, dude, everyone went, like it was a proverbial, everyone gasped. Like full on gasp, yeah. And she said there is so much more we need to learn about each other, and she hopes it's not the end of them, but the beginning. I hear what Barda is saying. I really do. She went with what she felt, but this is not a dating show, love. No. This is not a dating show. This man came here to get married, and now he's not getting married. Yeah, Jed, you could tell, was not happy. He was not happy. This man didn't even say anything. Like, he was in total shock. She then turned around and she said that she loved him, and he did say it back. And then she left, leaving Jed up there. I thought to myself, look, because I do this all the time on Love is Blind, where the person that says no leaves the other person in despondent, standing up on that altar while they're happily trotting off down the motherfucking aisle. Do you know what I mean? I'ma say, I don't know whose bright spark idea that was, yeah, but it's unfair to leave the groom or the bride up there that have just had their heart ripped out from them, left to be standing at the altar embarrassed. They should be the ones to get to leave first. Do you know what I mean? So as Barda's walking down the aisle, the facial expressions of everybody else did not disappoint me, man, especially from Barda's friends, because they were like, as in, I can't believe this girl went up there and said no. But she did what she did for herself at the end of the day. So Jed's mum did talk to Jed and said to him, like, in your own time, she has promised him those things, as in Barda promised those things in terms of what it was that she said she would do for him. But she just felt that it was too quick. And I'm going to say Mumsy made sense, but this was not the time at this moment to say those words to him, because for Jed it may have come off with, and I told you so, and he didn't want to hear it right now. Do you know what I mean? Jed's mum didn't expect a no from Barda. She really did not. Nobody expected a no from Barda at the end of the day, yeah. And Jed said to his group, like, you know, there's things that they have to talk about and there's discussions for them to be had. So Barda is outside, like, crying with her friend Liv, and Jed just come out and basically wants to talk to her. So his first question he asked her was why, and Barda said basically it was the arguments that were having put her in a weird state of mind. And like she said, she was not saying no, more so when they are ready. And I was like, but you did say no though, you did. But I got what she was saying, but she did say no, technically. She's literally at this point pleading with Jed to let him know and hear that she does not want this to end between the both of them, and that she does love him with all her heart. And then he responded with only 99% of it, as the 1% said no, basically. She will have to give Jed time. Like, she will have to give Jed some time and some space, yeah. So it was the arguments that they were having played heavily in her decision making and essentially popped her bubble. She didn't want a divorce if she were to get married, because if she gets married, she says that's it, she's one and done, that's it for her, and she didn't potentially want to have to be going down a divorce route. But I think it's about them learning their communication styles when they are having bickerments or arguments, or her being able to understand where it is that Jed's coming from as well. Because in the essence, as I said, with the whole dinner and the bank card, even though she made agreement, she still brought out her card and didn't necessarily understand how that looked to Jed, which was a faux pas on her part. That's what I'm saying. So Barda sees Jed's parents with her own, and basically Jed's parents is understanding, and they understand why, and they themselves believed it was too soon, so it wasn't Barda's fault for wanting to wait. So Jed is speaking to his people, and he said, like he told the boys emphatically when they had the night out and throughout, that Barda is definitely going to say yes. That's how sure he was. Yeah, so his friends then asked him, well, what was your answer going to be? And he said, I would have said yes. He was going to say yes, but he said all of that doesn't matter now. He wasn't ready with the whole, I suppose, the dating aspect that may come next between the both of them. He basically says that he needs time to get over the emotions, as he would feel that Barda doesn't technically really love him at this moment in time. Although she wants him, he didn't commit to what she said or agreed to date, as he was looking to get married, and that's all it was. He didn't plan for any type of scenario where she would say no, and how he would be able to deal with that. He didn't at all, because he was so assured that she would say yes. So we then go to Sarova and Cal's wedding day. So Cal got her a gift, and she got him a gift too. They do talk about the good things about each other. Sarova's mum does talk to Sarova about, you know, how things are with the wider community, within the Sikh community, and family members of them being from different backgrounds. But that's where I think the majority of Sarova's mum's texts were coming from in regards to her concerns, the chats that the family may have been having, yeah. But her mum has truly done a complete turnaround. She likes Cal and thinks that they are meant to be, and Sarova thinks so too. So Cal says to his brother, like, he's missed not being able to be around Sarova as they had before, and then he says he doesn't want to get to the 6-month mark and then check out, go cold and back off. I think Cal really needs a reality check at this moment in time, as he was not saying these things previously. He was all gung-ho to marry Sarova, but I think because his brother and some of his friends keep saying something around this subject, yeah, it's now become an issue in his mind when he wasn't thinking of that previously. And I think at that stage they managed to plant little seeds of doubt in his mind. His brother told him, like, if you want a family and those that are closer to you as well to be within that family, he said to him, you need to invest in that partner that you can trust at the end of the day. And his brother told him that Sarova is that person. But will this sway Cal to say yes? What Cal needs to understand is that being in love is work. Marriage is work. If you don't put in the work, it won't stand the test of time at the end of the day. I like that they incorporated Cal's culture and also Sarova's culture within the wedding itself. You know, with the drum procession, and he walks up to the wedding. So Sarova's dad managed to come to Walker Daniel, and I'm surprised because we didn't get to see him through this process at all. So it's good that she ensured that he was involved in the most important part of her day. So let's hope there will be happiness and not heartache again after watching Barda and Jed's. So Cal waited to look and turn around so long I thought he was not going to, but then he turned at the last minute and basically said, wow, because I ain't gonna lie, Sarova looked beautiful. Sarova looked beautiful. He's definitely gone over her completely. They say their vows, beautiful vows. Well, Sarova's vows are beautiful, and she's reading from the paper. So Cal gets his vows and he rips them up and then throws them down, and I was like, wait, what? Even Sarova was like, what the fuck is going on? And everyone was shook, and then Cal turned around, it's all up here. So we get to the most important question of the day. Sarova says, I do. And Cal says, after the longest pause in all fucking eternity, yeah, even his mom had to whisper, say yes. He says, I do. So they're married, and I'm so happy for them. Like, I was like, yay, yay, yay. I didn't know which way it was going to go, like seriously. So now we have Cal and Sarova being the first married couple. So then Sarova does change into a full Indian bridal gown, and she looked absolutely fucking gorgeous. I ain't gonna lie, I was so happy for them. So happy for them. So then we go to Meghan and Kieran's wedding. I have a feeling that he would have said yes, and I don't know what it was, but I felt that Meghan would say no. But I hope they proved me wrong and got married. They do, as with the others, they talk about the positives of each other, and I have to say, Kieran's mum and dad are absolutely lovely people, ain't gonna lie, such as Meghan's mum and her sister, absolutely beautiful, and she's in it 100 with Kieran. His mum is completely. So Meghan has good chats with her family, her mum and her sister, and I think it's easier to do this at times when you know you have the full backing of each other's family. Kieran's basically said that his faith to date is much stronger than his fears, but he is nervous, which is natural. His dad gave him a steampunk watch to add to the attire that he was wearing, and it was so thoughtful of him to do. Meghan says like she is completely ready to be a wife, and Kieran is ready to be a husband, basically. So basically at that point I thought, right, there's going to be no issues between these two at all. Kieran did cry when he first saw her. He was so awestruck by Meghan. I swear I needed me someone in the way that Kieran looked at Meghan. Even her mum said, here you go, Kieran, this is your new bride. Her vows was so good. So good. Had me crying. His voice had me crying too. So we get to the ultimate question. Kieran says, I do, and Meghan says, I do, and so we are in the married. Kieran and Meghan. Kieran and Meghan, people. Oh! I was happy. I was happy. I ain't gonna lie, I was happy. So then we get to Ashley and Billy's wedding. And this is where I was clenching like a good one, because I was like, will Billy risk it all for Ashley? Like, will she be it for him? She is so worried, and she shouldn't have to be worried on the most important day of her life at the end of the day. Billy basically said that he missed Ashley more than he expected to, but he has to make a decision today. For me, Billy fights for Ash. If it's either Billy fights for Ashley or he doesn't, there is no in between in this at the end of the day. As all the other couples, they speak positives about each other. I think Billy could have a good life with Ashley if he got past his own insecurities at the end of the day. Ashley basically said that she processed if it would be a no, and she learned, like, you know, you have to take risks in life at the end of the day, even though she knows it will hit her hard if he says no, she was not willing to give up. Ashley, you are a darling girl, like seriously. I do feel for her, I really do at this point. As my thing is, if he's gonna say no, why let her go through this instead of end it early? He says he feels guilty for still not knowing. Yeah. As says, I have nothing to say about that, as he knows fully the plans that they had. He knew she was cabin crew when he picked her, and I agree with her sisters, he will miss out on a good person if he says no. So Billy hopes Ashley will forgive him, but I don't know if she could. As she said, her job is not who she is, and she wishes for him to see past that at the end of the day. But if it's an issue for Billy, he will have to work through it, because it's a Billy issue, not an Ashley issue at the end of the day. Billy did smile big when he saw Ashley though, and he did cry, as Ashley was beautiful. But we shall see what happens next. Her vows were so heartfelt. She was literally pleading with him fully through those vows, making sure he saw her and who she was, and that the future that they could have together. His vows, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of did blank out, and I don't exactly know what he said to that point. But anyway, we shall get to the important bit. Ashley says I do, and she was always going to say I do. It's the Billy who was like 50-50 at this point. So Billy says, this man kept us in suspense. This man said I do. I literally screamed at the TV, oh my God, he said I do. I was elated, like absolutely elated for Ashley, seriously. So we have Billy and Ashley. So that's 3 out of 4 weddings, you know, for this one. And that ain't bad. That is not bad. I just hope they manage to stay together for the whole year when it comes to the fucking reunion, is what I'm saying, yeah. Because as we know, it's this is the whole year in the making. So the reunion comes a year later. So Ashley asked him basically what made him say yes, and he said it was fear. He had been divorced once and didn't want to do it again, but he loved Ashley and he wanted to spend his life with her. So we ended up going back to Barda and Jed. Well, more so Barda. And she said she wanted them to be sure, but Jed was sure already. She wants to marry Jed, but I think the reality hit her after the bubble burst and she got scared at the end of the day. So Jed is basically saying that he wants the dust to settle a bit. He wants some time apart from Barda, and he says time will tell. So basically Jed is saying that he wants the dust to settle a bit and he wants some time apart. And he says time will tell at this moment in time, because to be honest, I don't think Barda realised how much Jed was all in with her. So then it flips to everybody enjoying their wedding receptions, and this is where the last episode of Love is Blind UK Series 2 ends, more people. I will be back with the reunion, because I did these videos quite late, yeah, and then I'll get them on. I'm also going to put on a little short series of a day in the life of, and you will get to see a little bit of my travel dues within the job that I do, because I did go to Kent this weekend. Anyway, my renegades and those that are coming in, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know when I do videos. Please comment, like, share and do the good things that you do, because I continue to be on the road to 1K. Peace out.